In our last video, I spoke about the horse and I spoke about the winkers, about the bit and about the vision. Now I want to talk about the pulling power of the horse. And the pulling power was where there was two chains going from the horse back to the cat or the farm machine. It could be a plough, it could be a machine for digging potatoes, it could be a big dray in a quarry, it could be a big cat, it could be a carriage. And the way the horse did that was with two long chains going back to the cat. But how could he do that? This is how it was done. This is what's called a horse's collar. And you can see it is beautifully padded. And the reason that's padded, because that was up against the shoulders of the horse. And the horse was pushing against this. So a horse is very tender, and their skin and their flesh, they're very tender. So you have to protect the horse. The reason for the collar is to take the hams. And on the hams, you have these massive hooks. And they're the hooks that attach to whatever the horse has to pull. And I'll show you another example. That's a beautiful example there of a horse's collar and a horse's hams. And you have the hooks to tie the load to pull. So the horse is made to pull. Now, there's the hams, and that's what goes onto the horse. But the collar is on first, and this attaches then, and there's the hooks there. So those hooks are on, the collar is on, and now the chains are going back to the machines or the cats to be pulled. The next part is, a very important part, is not a saddle, but a straddle. A straddle. A straddle is the part that goes on the horse's back. And it sits on the horse's back, and you can see where the horse's mane comes down, and that part of the horse fits in there. And the reason for this is, there's a big chain onto the cat. Like if I was pulling a cat, I can put my hands out. A horse can't. So there's a big chain on the cat that comes down here and runs down alongside the horse, and it's tied with this strap. This strap goes around under the horse's belly, and this takes the weight and keeps the chain off the horse's back. Very important. Again, well cushioned and well done to protect the horse's flesh. Onto that then, now we've established we can get the horse to steer, we can get the chains to pull, we can get the straddle to take the weight. But supposing you're going down a hill, how do you stop? Yes, this is the way that's done. This is a straddle. This is a Britchen. And a Britchen goes around the horse's bottom, if you like. And this is attached to the shafts of the cat to be pulled. And again, it's beautifully made with padding. And you can see the shape of the horse. See the shape of the horse. And this is attached to the cat. And when the horse is going down the hill, he's actually holding the load back, because these chains are attached to the shafts. And this is up against the horse's rear, and he's holding it back. So now we've established the winkers for the vision, the collar and the hams for the pulling, the straddle for taking the weight on his shoulders, the belly band to stop it heeling back. Now we've the Britchen to hold the whole load back. So it's absolutely gorgeous. Now again, when I show the beautiful horse machines, I love to remember the little donkey. And look, this is a horse's straddle, and this is a little straddle for the donkey. Remember the little donkey as well. Now, when I started, I acknowledged the people that made the leather, the harness makers. Now I want to acknowledge the wonderful horsemen down through the thousands of years that knew their equipment, knew their horse, and moved mountains. They created the railways, the quarries, the mills, the breweries, the CIE, all the big businesses, they all depended on the horse. And I see in the road 500 horsepower trucks, and I remember when it was 1 horsepower or 2 horsepower. This story, I want to thank you all. This story is about the horse, 1 horse, 1 man. And I'm reminded as I talk to you now that about the ploughman, and he heads home weary, and he leaves the horse in the field to graze, and they both meet the following morning, and it starts all over again. Thank you very much.